Hi.
Hi, Winston. How's it going?
How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing hot. It's
very hot in Berlin, right?
Yes.
In Munich, it's very hot too. And I'm so sorry that I can't go to Berlin. It's my home normally. So I have to work in Munich.
Yeah, it's all good. Very nice. Thank you for making the time. I'm stoked.
Okay. You canceled your tour in North America. And do you take something with you for the future? Because you canceled because of a personal thing?
Yeah. Basically, what happened was we finished recording the album, and it was a very hard album to make. Just in general, like every aspect of it was difficult. It was it
felt hard.
Yeah, it was hard. COVID did not make anything easy, especially in our country trying to make a record. So we finished writing it, and basically what we realized right before we were about to go on tour was that we had a lot of issues to deal with within the band. What we had been doing for 20 years was basically just go. A very small amount of communication because it was constantly just like push ahead with everything you have, because that's survival. And 20 years of doing that in a very isolating scenario, it's difficult. It creates it's not good for you. It's not good for you. It's okay when you're a band starting out with 5 guys in a van playing to 20 people, but we were doing the exact same thing, the exact same system of being in a band playing to 20 people as we were now being an arena band flying around the world, like essentially a very massive company. And we didn't grow as people. Like we just didn't talk and just took all the pressure on. And basically this album brought us almost like very close to breaking point. So it got to tour and we're like, hang on, like we need to talk. Do you want to go on tour? If that happens, what's going to happen to the band? And we're like, we could tour, but it's probably going to kill the band. Like we're probably just going to break up. Or do you stay like at home and do the personal work so this band can survive? And that was what we did. So basically we have been doing like counseling and group mediation and growing as people and reconnecting, which is, it was the right choice. 100%. Like we're in a really good place now, which is awesome. But we don't think like we've realized there's no end point. We just keep doing, like we've learning some good ways of communication and ways to grow. And so when this band starts up again properly, it works well and we're happy.
But I mean, 20 years is a long, long time. So what is your top secret to survive in a band?
Oh man, like communication is what we learned. Like what we've learned is the top secret is communication. Like everything else we had done pretty well. Like that was the problem. We looked at it all and we're like, we have success. As a band, we cannot argue that this is successful. But at the end of the day as well, we all felt a massive amount of resentment and unhappiness in a successful situation. And that could only change from communicating with each other and being able to have that communication bring you together. So that is the key. Like
in a relationship and in like a friendship,
like that's it. We are in a relationship. It's like this is us. We're family. We're a family who had some bad communication skills.
And like in your very young ages, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it was when we started this. Like our drummer was 16. And we were like early 20s at oldest, and I'm like 39 now. So like
young. That's very young for this many years.
Yeah, that's it. So it's a long period of time as well. It's like literally half our lives. So, I mean, it's understandable. Like being in a band is a very it's a hard, isolating thing to do. It's incredibly rewarding, but you can't share what you do and how you do it with anyone. Like, it's not like there's a very small amount of people on the planet who actually do this in this industry. Like, it's not something which you can communicate to very few people other than your family and the people that are in the band with you and your crew. And like, that's it. That's the only people who actually understand what's going on.
That's so fucking crazy. I can't understand this. I think it's so nice to be with people and to have a good relationship, and you can do music for this fucking 20 years. So crazy.
Yeah. And the thing with it is, like, we all really care for each other and we really love each other. It's just that it was that thing of the problem for us was we all had responsibility which grew, but we didn't share it with each other because we wanted to make sure we all did our part and made sure everyone else was okay. But when you do that and you don't share any of it, all you have is like your own work. And you just like, you're like, oh, I know I'm working hard. I hope they're working hard as well. And it didn't have to be like that. But fuck, when you're in the music industry and it's just like tour, record, survive. Because if you stop,
so much pressure.
Just the pressure. And the pressure's been there. So yeah.
During that time, other bands broke up 3 times.
I know, that's the thing. And we've also watched other bands who we've really cared about go through what would have been similar things and break up. And we're like, that's what's going to happen if we don't do something. And we're not going to let that happen. So yeah, we're not letting that happen.
But you're coming to Europe finally after this fucking pandemic time. How excited are you to play the new stuff?
Yes.
I'm so excited. Very excited.
I'm very excited. Like, it's our first tour back. If there was anything like of the most sobering thing, that like having something that you care about so much ripped away from you in this way, which is what COVID did for us. Like, this is who we are. Being in this band it's who we are. It's, I mean, our life's work, and we care about it and we love doing it. And I never thought it could stop. We literally had conversations where like, nothing can stop this. There's nothing that can stop this. Like, we will be able to do this no matter what. And it's like, pandemic, didn't think of that one, did you? Fuck. No, I didn't, which was so, I've missed it. I've missed it a lot because it's just part of me. It's part of my expression, and our art is part of us, and let alone how cool this tour is going to be. Like, it's rad. Like, at this point in time, like currently we are back in the process of working. We're designing the show. We've written an album. Like, I'm doing promotion for an album. Essentially, I'm back in the working mode, but we just haven't done the final payoff part, which is playing live. And that's a really fun part. Like, that's the really fun bit at the end of all of it.
So do you have special plans for the live shows in Europe?
Yes, of course.
Because your new album is very different than the others. Definitely. Yeah. I heard it 3 times. Yep. So I think it's very dark, and your topics are isolation and fear, death, loss of humanity, and the typical topics of these times. So why did you write about this kind of negative things? We need positive vibes.
Yeah, we do, but positivity can't come from not acknowledging the negativity, which is what this entire album is actually about. It's so the entire album came, like, it's, for me, it was written about the concept of the dark night of the soul, which is about a reckoning which you confront, which destroys your truth, like, which destroys your perception of self, mentally, spiritually, everything, and you're left with nothing, and you have to rebuild and see the world in a different way. And going through that, not only was I going through that personally, but the entire world had everything torn down in every aspect. Yes. And the thing with it was like that you kind of, when you confront something like this, is it's not, the thing for me was I'm always told, like, positivity is everything is about positivity. You have to do that to the point of pleasing other people. And like, it's me as a person, like that, I feel as though that was always what was expected of me. And if I wasn't the right person to someone else, I would change who I was to suit them. And I just found myself in situations in my life where I realized that was impossible, where what someone wanted of me was not who I actually was. And it's a very confronting thing when you're very close to people as well, when you realize that actually in that person's eyes, you are the villain in their life.
And when did you realize that?
There's been several times over the last few years. Mm-hmm. And the first couple of times it happens, it's very confronting because like you're left with this feeling of grief because it's you lose a part of your life, you lose a part of your innocence. And trying to figure out how to be okay with that and to get to a place where you do feel positive. It doesn't come from ignoring the dark. It comes from walking through it and realizing why the darkness is there and its role in life. Like everything on this album deals with the concept of a darkness of some kind, but it's not necessarily saying that is there simply for the purpose of evil. The concept of evil is something that we choose to put on things, and being able to see things and realize their function in your life is how you truly get to a place of positivity and of happiness. Like it's not necessarily about just like, yeah, light. Like the dark is there for a purpose. So yeah, I am its purpose.
And your new album is so experimental.
Yeah.
Maybe I can hear Metallica, Pantera, a little bit Nick Cave in the bad seats. It was crazy. So is it important for you to go out of your comfort zone now?
Yes. 100%. Like we always try and go out of our comfort zone like as much as we can, but it's a big challenge. Like for any band, like going out of your comfort zone.
Everyone.
Yeah, just because it takes time and it takes commitment to do it, because essentially if you go out of your comfort zone, like that's an album. And if you write that album and it's out of your comfort zone and you don't do it well, then you have to go and write an entire another album to get it right. So this time around, like we were writing an album which could have been the last album we ever wrote because COVID's happening. Like for all you know, like the world's never coming back. We're like, this could be the last album. So if you're going to do that, what are you going to do? And there's a lot of these sounds which we've experimented with in small ways in the past. And this was the one where we're like, nope, it's all in. Like it's all in. Like the experiment is happening and we're following through all the way to the end. And if you don't know how to make it happen, you just do a lot of work until you do. And that was how we approached the entire thing. And it drove us insane. Jeff like almost had a mental breakdown from the amount of work he did. Like it was a real challenge, but it was really nice to be like, there's songs on this album which we've tried in the past, which we couldn't execute and we had to make a little different. And then writing this, being able to put certain songs together, I was like, oh, we know what we're doing now. This is cool. So yeah,
it's totally cool. I love that. I think you have a very, very crazy dramaturgy on your album. So you start very, very low, and then you have your high mountain. I need pictures in my head. So
that's right. That's it. The peaks and the troughs. That's the bit. 100%. Like for us, it's like when we write an album, we write an album. So it's not about like singles. It's about writing a journey. And for us, this one kind of starts almost like you would expect of Parkway. There's a little bit of familiarity and it lasts a little bit until it just takes you off the cliff.
It's hard.
Yeah.
If I heard the album, I had many pictures in my head. So that was amazing. I love that.
Thank you. I'm really, really happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be a very good live show. This. Definitely. And you said that this kind of album is after 20 years what you wanted to be in the sound way. So goal achieved? So it's the end of Parkway Drive.
That's it, the end of it. Yeah. No, I think the thing with it is like I said, this is the album that we wrote if we would never have the chance to write another album again. It doesn't mean it's the final thing we'd ever do, but we really did try and execute everything that we've ever dreamed of on this record, or at least write a record where over our entire existence we feel as though we had achieved that. There's definitely further we can go now that we've realized we can do this. There's definitely more. There's more experimentation. There's more places to go because we're constantly inspired to create music, which is the fun thing about music. But when we finished this, for all of the pain and the trauma of creating this record, we all sat down at the end when we listened to it and we're like, this is what we wanted to make. Like, this is the album which we wanted to make, which would have made 20-year-old, like, day one Parkway Drive very proud to be able to actually create something like this.
It's so crazy that you need so much time to to have your favorite records.
Yeah, but that's who we are. That's the thing. At the beginning of it, we were kids creating music, which we didn't know how to play at that point in time. So we learned in a very small degree within a very small like sound of music, because that's all we could comprehend. And when you looked at people like Metallica and like Guns N' Roses or like anyone like that, like legends, full iconic legends who had created sounds so big.
But your sound is like similar, the same. So
thank you very much. But it's like for us then, it was that was the kind of music where you could not even understand the imagination which would have gone into a sound like that. So you wouldn't even try. It's taken us 20 years to get to a level where you can kind of understand what they were thinking, and now you can apply that to what you do, which is really cool. It's a really cool thing to be able to think that we've done that. It's like 20 years of school. This is the schooling that mattered for us.
Maybe James Hetfield will talk to you. Hey, man.
Yeah, one day maybe.
Yeah. Like, you sounded like a.
I think Jeff would die if that happened. So yeah.
So how long did you work on this album?
It was basically since COVID began, so two years. Which was really good and really bad, because too much time on anything it sends you insane. Yeah. Because you start like, we're not a band that writes like very fast, and we don't write like, here's 40 songs, pick the 10 songs that go on an album. We literally just create an album's worth of work and then build that album. And the problem with that is you will have one song which you work on and you keep replacing parts over and over and over up until the day that you go in the studio. And that does drive you mad, because there's too much time and too many options. If someone just said...
Too many options are definitely shit.
Oh, killer.
In every way in life.
In every way. Like if someone just said like, write an album, and one day you record it, said no time, we'd go, okay. And for eternity, you would write that album and you would never record it. And it would constantly just change.
Okay, crazy. And you love Germany, right? So I heard a lot of music, of your German music, and your stuff with Casper.
Casper, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite hip hop artist from Germany.
Yeah, he's my boy.
He's amazing. I worked with him on a radio station.
Oh, so
I think you have a very, very good taste for the German words.
Thank you. I tried. That is also down to Casper, because like he helped translate our songs. It was a very big collaboration with him. Like he pulled like big hours and worked really hard to help us do that, which was so cool. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe you'll see him on this tour. See how it goes.
Schattenboxen is crazy.
Oh, dude, he
bedrock, definitely.
yeah.
Love that. So do you have new plans for German songs?
We'll see. It was a good experiment the first time around. Like it was very difficult, and I still speak like no German, which is so bad. I was like, all right, COVID's happened. I'm going to learn another language, and it's going to be German. And then they got to the end of it and I was like, yeah, you didn't do that. But yeah, I would love to do it again. I think the language itself like suits our music really, really well. So we'll see.
The language is very, it's hard to learn for foreign people.
Very hard to learn, like from an Australian who like speaks bad English in the first place. The German is
So what do you like in Germany? Do you have a special connection to our country?
Yeah, I enjoy everything. Like it's very strange because growing up in Australia, you don't get taught. You learn about England, but not so much. All you learn about is war. Like it really is. It's like, and in World War II, this happened. And in your mind, or in my mind, Germany was grey, just like really, really grey. And then we came here for the first time, and I was like, this is beautiful. And the people are so nice, and the food.
But the people are crazy and very conservative.
Yeah, but but it's nice. Like everyone is friendly. It's very friendly and very respectful. And also like I find it might be conservative, but it's also so out there. Like, I mean, yeah, we're in Berlin at the moment, and it's so alternative and it's so amazing. And the countryside is beautiful, and the respect for art and music is possibly the best in the entire world. Like, it's been really amazing to be in a band and to watch the same faces continue to come to our music, like our shows, and listen to our music and be so invested into understanding it, and not just go, that's good, something else. Because that's what a lot of culture does. Like a lot of pop culture, especially, is like disposable. And it seems like Germany is not so disposable. Everything seems to have a value and a place. And that's something really amazing about the country and the culture and the people.
Nice words about Germany.
Yeah.
Never heard it from everyone. No, never.
Yeah, really. It's strange. Yeah.
When I go to England or to other countries, it says, "Oh, you Germans, you're so conservative and you're so boring."
But that's the English and the Americans as well. And we deal with that. Like we fell in love with it the first time touring, and we told our American friends and stuff on tour, like, we love Europe so much. They're like, oh, I just want McDonald's. There's not enough McDonald's. Or like, oh, geez, like it was like complaining about coming here. And I'm like, what? You're fucking crazy. Same with the English. Yeah, it's very odd, very odd. But yeah, I'll take this type of Western culture over anything else.
You're welcome. So
yeah, thank you.
So your album, what is your favorite song on this record?
Oh. Okay, I like
it's a good question, but I think it's very interesting because I thought I love the ballad of this album. I
like the title track, Darker Still.
No, it's the other. One moment. It's not.
If a God Can Bleed.
No, I forgot it. I forgot it. It was not Glitch. It was very. Dark. Is it Darker Still?
It is Darker Still.
Yeah, Darker Still.
No, we named the album after the ballad. Yeah.
I love it so much. So the writing process, is it you? Do you write the songs, or?
I write the words. But the process is the lead guitarist Jeff, the drummer Ben, and myself for writing it. And our producer George helped a lot with this one as well. And that's the writing group. We put things together and work it, rework it, try and discover what the song is supposed to be. Like it was a challenging album to write, this entire one, because it's a lot slower than any album we put together. So that meant a change in the way you even just think about the music, because it changes the length of a song. As soon as you take the tempo down, the song will become longer. And this is a long song, and that's a scary thing. Well, it's all of a sudden you're in
very scary thing. Yeah,
a 7-minute song. That better be a damn good song. But that's my favorite track on the album as well, because essentially it's one melody. It's like that one whistled melody, which goes from the very human like whistle through that to the acoustic guitar, to the distorted guitar, all the way through to the strings, to the voices. Like it just progresses on that one melody through this entire thing until you reach the crescendo, and then comes back around. It's a very big journey of a song around something so simple, which is a very, like, it's the opposite. It's a big challenge, but for someone that is used to like we started off just trying to be very technical to write something simple.
I heard it. Very technical. Yeah.
Yeah. So writing something simple and doing it in that way is a very big challenge to figure out how to do that and make it work.
I think many people would say, okay, that's a little kind of crazy for me.
Yeah, you see.
Maybe, but that's...
I don't know. Probably. Like every time we do anything, people are like, no, that's too crazy. But they come around.
Yeah, they come around, right? So,
at the end of the day, like we write what we enjoy. At the end of the day, like if people enjoy it, I'm really happy. But for me, I like listening to it. And that's the only quality control for us is like, do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it? Okay, it's good. There we go.
You're not mainstream.
No, we never will. Never will be. Never. We never will be. As much as people will say it, like it's not. And even if it is, whatever. That's sweet.
You know what?
I mean, I don't mind. Like that's fine. I love Megan Thee Stallion and Dua Lipa. That's awesome. Fucking like that's what I listen to in the first place. Cool.
We'll be celebrating at your shows. So
yeah.
So the last shows, a friend of mine, she lost her nose. And the last 2 shows, she broke her nose.
So I thought you meant like it got ripped off. I was like, broke it. Okay. It's like she lost the nose, like someone clawed off. She broke. Yeah,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
I mean, yeah, I hope she's okay. Like,
now she's okay. Now, maybe the next one will come. So we will see.
Aim for the arm next time.
No, hopefully not.
Yeah.
So you did one documentary about your tour, the Viva the Underdogs. Maybe we will have one more documentary in the future. Do we have plans?
Here we go. I mean, they always work. That was documentary number 3 for us, but it was the first one that we were able to do, and play it on a big screen. Like people always seem to connect to it, which is really nice. We do like telling a story. It's another part of our artwork, really. And the more we do, I think the better we get with it. But there always has to be a reason for the documentary. Like we don't just put one out like, "Hey, we exist," and here's just fun. Like it was interesting. Yeah, that's it. So that it was weird when we were making that. Even when we had the idea of doing it again, we're like, "What's the story? Like, what are we making?" We just started filming stuff and slowly like it just kind of happened. So if that, I'm sure something like that will happen again down the road, but we every few years we go, I think it's time to film something. So, and this one got picked up crazy. Like it was on Netflix in Australia, which is
Netflix, but not in Germany. Wow.
No, just in Australia. But we're like, that's how mainstream it got in our country. We're like, holy
yes, in Australia.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get in Germany, just ring them up and let them know. But like, we were kind of shocked. We're just shocked.
I will do something.
Yeah, go for it. Campaign.
I can talk about in the radio.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have a good time in Berlin.
You too. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you in the future.
We will see you in the future. Maybe in September in Munich.
Yeah, that's it. Hit me up.
Bye, Winston.
See ya.